Imagine living in a world where telling the truth can destroy your future, and protecting someone you love might cost you everything. That's exactly where The Testaments leaves us in its unforgettable season finale. The episode opens under a dark cloud hanging over Gilead. Becka is gone. After killing her father, Dr. Grove, the same man secretly responsible for abusing multiple girls, she's been taken away by the eyes. To everyone else, she's a criminal. But to Agnes, she's something else entirely. She's a victim who finally broke. Agnes can barely process what happened. She already carried the weight of her own silence, but now she has to live with the fact that Becka acted after learning the truth about what her father had done. And the worst part? Nobody is talking about what Dr. Grove did. Nobody is calling him a monster. Instead, all of Gilead is asking one question. How could a daughter kill her father? That question becomes the heart of the episode. Because in Gilead, people don't care what created the violence. They only punish the person who finally reacted to it. Inside a cold prison facility, Becka sits restrained and broken. Then someone unexpected walks in. Aunt Lydia. For the first time all season, Lydia doesn't arrive with authority. She arrives looking worried. She takes one look at Becka and immediately orders the restraints removed. Commander Judd is already waiting. His decision comes quickly. There will be consequences. Becka won't be executed. She'll become a handmaid. And somehow that sounds worse. Lydia pushes back. She says Becka broke God's law, but her father broke it first. But Judd doesn't care. And that's when something changes. For maybe the first time, Lydia begins realizing what viewers have known all along. Gilead doesn't protect girls. It protects power. Back at school, the news spreads fast. Everyone whispers. Everyone judges. But Agnes knows the truth. She gathers Daisy, Shu, and Hulda and tells them everything. No more hiding. No more pretending. The room changes. Because suddenly Becka isn't a murderer anymore. She's a girl who was abandoned. And Agnes reaches a point she's never reached before. She stops being afraid. She walks straight into Aunt Vidala's office. Vidala tells her to trust God. Agnes doesn't back down. She reminds her that ants claim to act as God's instruments. Then she says something nobody expected. If anyone failed Becka, it was you. Silence. Because she's right. The adults were supposed to protect them. Nobody did. Meanwhile, Daisy decides she's done waiting. She goes looking for action. Smuggled out of Gilead, hidden inside a barrel, she finally reaches someone she never expected to meet. June. The woman Gilead calls a criminal. The woman viewers know as a survivor. June doesn't welcome Daisy with open arms. Instead, she tells her something painful. You cannot save everyone. People become casualties in war. But Daisy refuses. She tells June about Becka, about the girls, about Agnes. And then everything stops. Agnes. June hears the name. And suddenly the impossible becomes possible. Hannah. Her daughter. After all this time. For a moment the war disappears. Now, this is personal again. June allows Daisy to go back. Not because she agrees. Because she has hope. Back in Gilead, things start moving. Agnes' words reached Vidala. And for the first time, Aunt Lydia and Aunt Vidala stop serving the system. And start working against it. Their solution is terrifying. Officially, Becka didn't kill Dr. Grove. Her mother did. Mrs. Grove quietly accepts the lie. No hesitation. No argument. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's choosing death. Because in Gilead, sometimes surviving isn't freedom. Sometimes dying is the only way to save your child. At the same time, Agnes receives another blow. Commander Weston ends their engagement. His excuse sounds polite, but everyone knows the truth. Agnes told him she had been assaulted. And suddenly, she wasn't desirable anymore. She did nothing wrong. Yet she's the one abandoned. That moment finally breaks something inside her. She leaves home, finds Garth, and asks him for something impossible. Marry Becka. Save her. At first he hesitates. Then he agrees. What follows becomes one of the most emotional moments in the entire season. Before the wedding, Becka and Agnes are alone. No guards. No expectations. Just two girls trying to survive. Agnes tells her everything will be okay. Becca looks at her and says quietly, "I know because you're here." Then they kiss. Not like a fairy tale. Not like a perfect romance. But like people holding on to the only person who truly understands them. And then they separate. At that exact moment, while Becca is being married, her mother is being executed. One life beginning, another ending. That's Gilead. Every act of love demands a sacrifice. But the biggest moment is still waiting. After the wedding, Daisy finally tells Agnes the truth. She isn't who she thinks she is. She was never meant to be here. Her real name is Hannah, and her mother is June. At first, Agnes rejects it. She calls June a terrorist. But later she finds something hidden. A childhood drawing. One word written at the bottom. Hannah. Everything changes. The next day, she meets Lydia. And Lydia quietly tells her, "Your mother never gave up." Not a warning. Not criticism. Respect. The episode closes with Daisy sending a secret message out of Gilead. Becca survived. But this isn't over. Because she's no longer trying to save one girl. She wants something bigger. She wants to build an army. And her final words feel less like hope and more like a threat. Because nothing is more powerful than a teenage girl. And just like that, Season 1 ends. But the war for Gilead is only beginning. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.